The still voice. Before the storm. Have you ever felt that quiet pause before a new week begins? That small silence on Sunday night when your soul whispers, "Am I ready for what's coming?" There is something sacred in that moment. Between the breath of what ended and the heartbeat of what begins, heaven leans closer to listen. You see, a blessed week doesn't start with a plan. It starts with a vibration, a soft agreement between your soul and the divine. It's not about control, it's about surrender. So before the noise, before the schedule, before the worry, let us enter that sacred space together. Let's invite the light to go before us, to prepare the unseen path, to heal the invisible fears, to open the doors that our strength alone could never open. This is not just a prayer for the week ahead. It's a declaration that you are not walking alone. There is a presence walking beside you, a love that never sleeps, a grace that knows your name. Now, take a deep breath. Inhale peace. Exhale control. Let the week begin. Not with anxiety, but with alignment. Not with fear, but with faith. Not with noise, but with a whisper. Lord, bless my week. The whisper. Before the week begins, before every sunrise, before every plan, before every thought of what must be done, there is a whisper. It is not loud, not dramatic, not even urgent. It is soft, sacred, almost shy. It's that moment when your heart, still half in silence and half in the world, pauses and says, "Something holy wants to begin again." The week has not yet started, but your spirit already feels it. The pulse of possibility, the invitation to align before stepping forward. You see, a week does not begin when Monday arrives. It begins when your soul chooses its tone. Some people rush into the week with anxiety, with lists and alarms. But those who know the language of light begin their week in stillness, because stillness is how heaven speaks. The whisper before the week begins is God asking, "Will you walk this one with me?" It is the divine giving you a moment to reset your vibration, to remember that life is not just happening to you, it's happening through you. Pause for a second and think, how often have you entered your week heavy with yesterday's emotions? We carry conversations that have ended, fears that never came true, expectations that never belonged to us. And then we wonder why the week feels heavy before it starts. But peace is never lost. It's only covered. The whisper of heaven is asking you right now to uncover it, to open your hands and release what no longer fits your spirit, to begin again, not by trying harder, but by trusting deeper. So, before this new week unfolds, breathe. Take a slow, sacred breath in through your nose. Hold it gently for a moment. Feel your heart beating. Then exhale through your mouth, as if you're releasing 1,000 invisible weights. Now say softly, "Lord, bless my week. Enter before I do. Guide my steps before I take them." When you speak this, you are not begging. You are aligning. Words are vibrations, and every vibration has a frequency. When you bless your week, you lift it to a higher frequency before you even live it. You are telling the universe, "I choose peace as my starting point." Imagine for a moment a path of golden light stretching ahead of you. Every step already blessed, every turn already guided. You may not know what will happen this week, but the light does, and it walks before you, preparing everything your mind cannot yet see. Sometimes we think control will protect us, but control drains the soul. Surrender, on the other hand, fills it. The moment you say, "Lord, I trust you," you shift from carrying the week to being carried by it. You were never meant to begin in chaos. You were meant to begin in calm. The calm that comes from remembering. There is a presence that loves you enough to walk ahead of your fear, to guard the doors you can't see, to bless the roads you haven't yet taken. If you want to anchor this presence in your week, here's a simple ritual. Find a quiet space at dawn or before sleep. Sit comfortably. Place your right hand over your heart, your left hand over your navel. Breathe deeply. With each inhale, imagine drawing light into your body. With each exhale, imagine releasing worry. Then whisper 3 times, "My heart is calm. My path is clear. My week is blessed." As you speak, visualize a soft golden light expanding outward from your chest. See it filling your room, your home, your city, stretching across the entire landscape of your life. That light is not a fantasy. It is your frequency rising. And heaven recognizes it instantly. From that moment on, you are no longer reacting to your week. You are creating it. The whisper becomes a current of guidance, gently steering you toward peace, toward purpose, toward everything aligned with your soul. And when you wake up tomorrow and the noise of life begins to pull at your peace, just stop for 1 second and remember this. Before the week began, peace spoke first, and it spoke to you. So walk gently, because the whisper that began this week is still walking beside you. When the soul feels tired, before Monday even starts. There are mornings when you wake up and feel the weight before you even open your eyes. The sun hasn't risen, yet your heart already feels old. Your mind begins its quiet war. Here we go again, another week. You haven't even stepped out of bed. But your soul whispers, "I'm already tired." If that's where you are right now, I want you to know something sacred. You are not broken. You are human. You are not faithless for feeling weary. You are simply carrying too many things that were never yours to carry alone. You see, the body can rest overnight, but the spirit doesn't rest until it feels safe. And most of us live in survival mode, pretending to be strong while our hearts quietly whisper for a pause we never give them. We keep performing, pretending, posting smiles, while deep inside, the soul begs for stillness. Maybe you've prayed, and the answers didn't come. Maybe you've done everything right, yet the peace you long for seems far away. Let me tell you something holy. Even when nothing moves on the outside, heaven is working within you. What feels like exhaustion may actually be transformation in disguise. Sometimes, God doesn't rush to lift your burdens, because He's teaching you to stop picking them up. He's not testing your strength. He's inviting you to trust His. So, before you start this week, instead of forcing yourself to be strong, allow yourself to be held. Close your eyes and breathe. Say softly, "It's okay to be tired. I am still loved. I am still seen. Every tear you've cried was heard by something eternal. The divine never wastes pain. He turns it into wisdom. The rest you need is not laziness. It's a sacred pause so your soul can remember who's really in control." The soul's hidden burnout. Our world glorifies hustle, but heaven glorifies healing. The soul burns out not from effort, but from disconnection. When you live too long out of alignment with your inner rhythm, even blessings feel heavy. That's why stillness isn't optional. It's medicine. When you rest, you return to the vibration where miracles begin. When you slow down, your angels can finally catch up. So instead of waking up running, start this week by breathing. Let your first act of faith be stillness. Let your first prayer be silence. God doesn't only speak in thunder. He also speaks in sighs, in moments of calm, in the quiet relief that comes when you finally say, I don't have to do it all. A ritual for the weary heart. If your soul feels tired before Monday begins, sit somewhere peaceful. Place both feet on the ground. Let the earth hold you for a moment. Imagine a soft light wrapping around your shoulders like a warm blanket. Now, take a slow breath in and say silently, I receive peace. Exhale and say, I release pressure. Do this 7 times. With every breath, imagine your worries dissolving, like dust carried away by wind. You don't have to understand everything to trust that it's being handled. You don't have to fix everything to be worthy of rest. The universe doesn't need your tension. It needs your trust. When you let go, you open space for grace. Whispers from heaven. There's a voice that speaks inside silence. You won't hear it when you rush, but it's always there. It says, you're doing better than you think. It says, you don't have to earn your worth. It says, even now, I am carrying you. Listen closely. That's not imagination. That's reassurance from the one who walks with you. You are not behind. You are exactly where your healing needs you to be. When you rest, you are not losing time. You are aligning with divine timing. So tonight, before bed, place your hand over your heart and whisper, even when I feel tired, my spirit is being renewed. Then let the silence do what only silence can do. Rebuild your peace, rewire your faith, and remind you that love never leaves. Affirmation for renewal. I allow myself to rest in divine timing. My peace is protected. My heart is safe to pause. This week, I choose faith over force and surrender over struggle. The truth is simple and profound. When you honor your exhaustion, you invite heaven to refill you. Because a tired soul is not weak. It is sacred ground waiting to be watered. Let this be the week where you no longer chase strength. Let this be the week where you simply allow yourself to be loved back into wholeness. The week ahead is not demanding your power. It's inviting your presence. And the one who walks with you has already gone before you. The hidden blessings in the ordinary. There is a kind of holiness that hides in plain sight. Most of the time, we are too busy chasing miracles to notice that they're already here, disguised as ordinary moments. The soft glow of morning light on your wall, the sound of boiling water, the warmth of a familiar voice, the heartbeat you forget you're carrying. These are not accidents. They are the universe's quiet ways of saying, I am still here. Sometimes, we wait for divine signs that flash across the sky, when the greatest sign is the breath that never leaves you. The miracle isn't out there, it's right here, breathing through you, pulsing through the simplest things you overlook. If you've ever felt that your life is too normal, too quiet, too uneventful, remember this. Heaven often hides in the ordinary because only the humble heart will notice. The sacred prefers simplicity. It whispers, not shouts. The sunrise doesn't need applause to rise. The river doesn't beg for permission to flow. The tree doesn't rush to grow. It trusts its timing. All of creation preaches without words, reminding you, you don't have to force what's already divine. The divine hidden in routine. Every action you take can become a form of prayer when done with awareness. When you wash the dishes, the water is not just cleansing plates, it's cleansing energy. When you sweep the floor, you're not just removing dust, you're clearing stagnant thoughts. When you fold your clothes, you're wrapping gratitude around the little you have. Life is constantly speaking through these small gestures. You don't need to escape your routine to meet God. You need to wake up inside it. So tomorrow, when you wake up, don't rush. Before grabbing your phone, look at the light coming through your window. Say softly, "Thank you for this new light. Thank you that I am here to see it." Because every morning you wake up, you are already standing inside a miracle. Gratitude doesn't change your circumstances first. It changes your frequency. When your energy says thank you, the universe mirrors that frequency back in ways you could never plan. It's not superstition. It's alignment. You tune yourself to love, and life tunes itself to you. The practice of seeing differently. If you want to see more miracles, train your soul to notice the small ones. When you drink water, whisper, "May this cleanse my body and refresh my spirit." When you walk, feel your feet grounded on the earth that has held you since birth. When you meet a stranger's eyes, imagine that both of you are souls wearing temporary forms. Everything changes when you start to see not with your eyes, but with your heart. Suddenly, what was ordinary becomes extraordinary. A moment of silence becomes communion. A passing breeze becomes a conversation with the divine. And the day, no matter how repetitive, becomes sacred ground. This is the secret of enlightened living. It's not about escaping the world. It's about discovering heaven within it. The candle of awareness. Here is a ritual to remind you that light is always near. Each morning, light a candle, or imagine one burning before you. Take 3 slow breaths and say softly, "In every ordinary moment, I will look for divine light." Then, for a few seconds, simply watch the flame. Notice how it flickers, sometimes strong, sometimes gentle, yet never loses its fire. That flame is your spirit. No matter what winds blow, the light never truly goes out. Carry that awareness with you throughout the day. When you find yourself rushing, return to that inner candle. It's always waiting, steady, glowing, patient. The power of everyday gratitude. Make this your silent prayer during the week. I bless this moment, even if I don't understand it. Whisper it when things go well, and when they don't. Because gratitude isn't about pretending everything is perfect. It's about recognizing that even imperfection is part of perfection's plan. When you bless your ordinary moments, they start to bless you back. The coffee tastes richer. The silence feels fuller. The people you meet begin to mirror your peace. You start living in rhythm with heaven. Not because the world changed, but because you did. Affirmation for awareness. I am awake to the sacred in the simple. Every breath I take is a blessing. Every moment carries divine presence. I walk through my week aware, grateful, and aligned. This is the truth. You don't have to chase light. You just have to notice it. The divine is already woven into the fabric of your life. And when you begin to honor the ordinary, you realize something miraculous. You were never waiting for a blessing. You were the blessing all along. The blessing that walks with you. There comes a moment in every spiritual path when you stop asking, "When will my blessing come?" and begin to realize, "My blessing never left." You were never abandoned. The delays, the detours, the heartbreaks, none of them were punishments. They were preparations. Every pause was protection. Every loss was redirection. Every unanswered prayer was grace in disguise, saying, "Wait, not this way." The blessing is not a single event waiting in the future. It is a quiet presence that has been walking beside you from the very beginning. It doesn't always arrive as joy. Sometimes it arrives as closure. Sometimes as silence. Sometimes as the courage to keep walking when nothing makes sense. Look back for a moment. Think of every time you thought you wouldn't make it, yet here you are. Every time your strength ran out, but something unseen carried you through. That wasn't luck. That was the blessing walking in your shadow, holding you up when your knees forgot how to stand. Recognizing the silent companion. The blessing is not loud. It doesn't demand attention. It moves like breath, invisible but essential. It waits for you in the still moments when you finally stop trying to control everything. It enters the room the moment you exhale and whisper, "I surrender." When you stop chasing blessings, they start chasing you. Because you become magnetic to grace when you learn to rest in trust. You stop praying from fear and start praying from faith. And then, suddenly, everything begins to flow. Not because the world changed, but because you did. Every time you choose forgiveness over resentment. Every time you respond with love instead of reaction. Every time you smile instead of complain. You invite the blessing to walk closer. You become a carrier of divine energy. You stop asking to be blessed and start being the blessing. How to carry the blessing forward. The blessing multiplies when shared. It's not meant to stay within you like a secret. It's meant to ripple outward. This week, try this sacred experiment. Be intentional with your energy. Before you speak, ask, "Does this word add light or take it away?" Before you act, ask, "Is this move guided by love or fear?" Every time you choose love, you strengthen the current of grace flowing through your life. You begin to live as a channel, not a collector. And soon, blessings find you without effort, because they recognize their own vibration in you. The ritual of the 7 days of blessing. For the next 7 mornings, before the world wakes, place your hand over your heart and whisper, "The blessing walks with me." Say it slowly, not as a wish, but as truth. Feel it echo inside your chest. Visualize golden light flowing down your spine, spreading through your body, anchoring peace into every cell. Then write down one thing that feels like a blessing that day. Something real, something simple. A message from a friend. The taste of your morning coffee. The way sunlight fell on your face. By the end of 7 days, you'll see how much heaven has already been speaking. These notes will become sacred proof, your personal scripture of grace. The closing prayer. Lord, bless my week and bless my walk. Bless my voice when it trembles, and my silence when it listens. Go before me into places I have not yet been. Surround my family with your peace, my mind with clarity, my heart with courage. Let everything I touch be guided by light. Let every step I take be held in your timing. I walk not alone, but in partnership with heaven. The blessing walks with me and through me for the good of all. Take a deep breath. Let these words settle in your spirit. You don't have to feel the blessing to know it's there, just as you don't have to see the sun to know it's shining behind the clouds. The blessing is steady. It doesn't leave when the mood fades or the fear returns. It stays. It walks. It loves. So, as you move through this week, into your work, your home, your unknowns, remember this sacred truth. You are never stepping into emptiness. You are stepping into divine orchestration, into a path already prepared by grace. The same presence that held you yesterday walks beside you today and will meet you tomorrow with arms full of new light. Final affirmation: the blessing walks with me. I am guided in love, grounded in peace, protected by grace. My life unfolds in perfect divine timing. Say it once now. Say it again when you wake tomorrow. Say it until your heart begins to believe what your lips already know. Because when you truly believe that the blessing walks with you, you start to walk like someone who knows they can never be lost. So as you rise and walk into the unknown of the coming days, remember, you are not walking toward light. You are walking with it. The same presence that carried you through your darkest nights will now guide you into your brightest mornings. And if this prayer touched your heart, write in the comments below, Amen. The blessing walks with me. Share this message with someone who needs peace this week. Because when one heart receives light, it multiplies. Go now in calm, in faith, and in radiant awareness. Your week is already blessed.